Now, some may say this was expected, given the fanfare and support of accused killer Luigi Mangione, but a man allegedly tried to break him out of jail by impersonating an FBI agent, showing up with a pizza cutter, and claiming he had a court order to free him. Now, to be clear, Mangione isn't mentioned directly in the criminal complaint that was now filed against 36-year-old Mark Anderson. They just mention an inmate, but you have a law enforcement source who says it's Mangione. Either way, Anderson is accused of showing up to Brooklyn's MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, Wednesday night, and when officers asked to see his credentials, prosecutors say Anderson produced not a badge, not a federal ID, but a Minnesota driver's license, and then hurled documents at the officers. Oh, by the way, it didn't end there, because Anderson also allegedly had weapons in the bag that he was carrying. What was inside? A barbecue fork and a pizza cutter. It's not a joke. These are real allegations. Law enforcement sources told the Associated Press that Anderson had traveled to New York City for a job opportunity that fell through, and he recently had been working at, you guessed it, a pizzeria. Now, tonight, Mangione remains behind bars. He wasn't broken out. He's awaiting court tomorrow, where a judge may decide on whether to allow the death penalty in his federal case. And this bizarre arrest that just happened, it is just the clearest sign yet that obsession surrounding this case is escalating. Since Mangione's arrest in 2024, supporters have flooded him with letters and books and photos. His legal defense fund has ballooned to more than $1.4 million. It is still climbing. You have packed courtrooms, protesters outside them, and with what just happened, how dangerous can that become as we head towards Mangione's trial? Well, my next guest says the concern is very real, very, very real. Gene Borello was also once an inmate at the MDC where Luigi is being held. He's a former organized crime associate who spent a total of 13 years behind bars at various lockups. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time. First of all, you got to tell me, have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, nothing to this extent. I mean, I've never heard of someone doing something so stupid, excuse my language, dumb. I mean, to this magnitude. I mean, I've heard of people trying to escape, but I mean, very much better plan. This is absolutely ridiculous of what I've seen. I mean, he had absolutely no chance of getting him out, not a slim chance. Not
Well, that's an important point, right? If
right.
the allegations are true, my gosh, I mean, this guy was waiting to get caught. Now, having said that, you've been to the MDC. Is there a way that
Right.
could have worked? So if he was a little bit, I don't know, if the allegations are true, if he had the right fake credentials, if he was more authoritative, I don't know, was able to forge a court order of some kind. There are sometimes methods to get somebody removed from a prison and from a jail and sent to another jail. Is there any scenario where this could have worked at the MDC?
No, they're going to call up and do so many checks, and there's so many clearances to be released like that, especially a person of that caliber and so high profile. First of all, why are they releasing him to the FBI? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, especially the name that you're saying. And being dressed up as FBI agent, you pull out a driver's license. I mean, you have to show your badge. You have to show so much paperwork, and a judge has to be notified. I'm pretty sure the prosecutor, AUSA, it's never going to happen. He won't make it past the door.
I think I think it was throwing the papers at the officers. That was probably a dead giveaway. He wasn't official. I have to tell you this, okay? I've been following this case from the beginning. I've never seen fanfare like this. I've seen supporters before. I've never seen anything like this. I was at CrimeCon, and I was doing a panel on Mangione, and I asked everybody in the audience at one point, even if you believe the evidence shows he did it, would you still find him not guilty? And so many people threw their hands up. As this now goes forward to the next stage, as it goes towards eventual trial, we're talking maybe 2 trials, right, a state and federal trial. What does this tell you about the level of security that is needed? What does this tell you about any security concerns you may have? Because I have to say, I'm not surprised somebody tried to break him out if the allegations are true. I'm actually surprised it took somebody this long to attempt it. What are your thoughts?
He almost has like a Charles Manson following, and it's pretty scary that you have like a cult and people willing to do anything for this man, and it's pretty dangerous. Security will be so tight. When he's at court, when the trial does start, you will have, I mean, everything will be blocked off. You know, it's like people are doing just anything and everything for this guy, and it's pretty crazy because he shot an innocent man walking up the block. I just don't see what the obsession is with him. You know, I just can't wrap my head around it. I really can't.
And me, the lawyer, will say a couple things. One, he allegedly did this, although I think the evidence is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
You talk to anybody, there are those who say this was a symbol, this was a message. They don't seem to think the fact that Brian Thompson was a human being with a family, and whatever concerns and issues and problems they have with the health insurance industry, which are real, obviously not discounting it. A, killing him is not going to change that, and B,
Nothing.
you're using him. Murder's never the answer. If it starts with him, it can go into politics, it can go into real estate, it can go into finance. It's a really scary road to lead. Now that this happened at the MDC, are they going to treat him differently? Is there going to be any different security protocols at the prison? And by the way, in terms of safety for him with other inmates?
Absolutely. And, you have to really think of how dangerous this is, that a man's willing to dress up as an FBI. This man that did this attempted escape, do you understand? I mean, I don't know if you know the law or not. He's looking at easy 20 years in prison for what he just did. Impersonating a federal agent in the commission of a crime with a weapon. Even though it's a pizza cutter, it's still considered a weapon. And, he's looking at a man just basically gave himself 20 years in prison to try to break this man out. So think about the level that people are going to right now for him. So I would say security is going to be as if Donald Trump was over there. It's going to be insane.
This is going to be, these are two big trials. I can only imagine what the scene is going to look like outside of those courthouses when they begin. Gene Borello, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem, man.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.